Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ray661, and I decided maybe to give you guys a little world tour. I've been playing this world for almost 2 years now, on and off, not really consistent. Um, but I'm kind of at the point where I'm actually starting my third major project, so I figured I'd go ahead and show around before I actually begin that. So, to start with, I'm going to show you the function over form, which is basically farms, storage area, basically everything mechanically that I use in the game to collect resources. And then we'll kind of just go from there. So this is my main work area. This is basically like a hole in the ground that I haven't quite moved out of yet. Um, it's nothing too fancy, obviously, as you can see. This is a trash can. Let's see if I can find something crappy to throw away. So basically, drop item in there, goes into the hopper, starts a clock. A hopper shoots into a dispenser, or dropper, I think. Dropper, which drops it into lava, which is situated behind there. And my cat is about to push my alarm clock. These are just random storage, more for like my immediate project. So this is like the resources that I intend on using on the next major project that I have. This is just random stuff that I haven't sorted yet, that used to be a part of those, but right now it's just random junk. And this is my primary storage area. It kind of lags whenever the pistons all work, but yeah, this is basically where I'm keep everything. So, um, this switch right here basically goes over a T flip-flop that's downstairs. The T flip-flop is what triggers the um, pistons to function. So, this used to have something, don't know what it was ages ago. Like I said, I'm gradually trying to move out of here as my form over or function over form section kind of develops. So this is actually where things start getting pretty. Ignore that, that's still in development. It is a automatic fish farm. I'm waiting for the next update to fix a piece of redstone, and I need to sleep first. I'm waiting for the next update to fix a piece of redstone, because there's a bug with how redstone interacts through blocks, and the next snapshot should fix that. And then I'll end up building a housing enclosure for it. So this path basically brings you to wherever. I'll show you guys that later. And this fountain is just basically there to kind of like give something in the background when you kind of come out in this area, to peek at through the trees instead of it just being more trees in a random pond. This is a cave that I use for caving. Down below here is my actual mining shaft, but that actually leads into a three. So it's a 2x2 chunk slime farm where one of the chunks of the four chunks is not a slime chunk. So we can actually see it in function right now. So basically the slime aggro the golem that's stuck up here, which slimes are dumb, they just go straight for the whatever they aggro. They run into the cactus, die, slime balls fall into the hoppers, which dump into this chest. So that's basically the entire design of that farm. And I created that farm to get slime balls for sticky pistons, and that's pretty much the only thing I use sticky pistons for, or slime balls for. I do use it a little bit for leads, but outside of that, I haven't really used any slime blocks for anything, any redstone designs. I'm not really too much of a redstone person, so most of my redstone designs are either extremely simple or direct copied from someone else. All of these trees, by the way, are custom handmade trees across on this path. This whole path used to be plains. My single player world, even though it's a single player world, I do open it up for my friends every now and then. And a friend of mine created a dome here with this floor and then never played again. So I took out the dome but left the floor in. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that yet, but I plan on incorporating it to something. So So immediately right, so the trees kind of thin out here on purpose. I might place a few more trees to kind of make it not be so dramatic of a stop. But this is a barn um, that was made where basically all of the farm animals stick around. Um, Sheep, cows, whatever. There's a few things upstairs. It's meant to help with breeding and just kind of general looks. But I don't really use this barn too often considering that I did have an automatic chicken farm that would it's pointless to explain it now because of the new entity thing, but I used to just collect the dropped eggs, shoot them if they get a baby chicken out of it, and then yeah. I'm going to turn to game mode 0. No, 1. I don't go into creative except to kind of show off builds, so this is all of this is built in survival. But this is my normal farm. It's hand done. It's not automatic in any fashion, but it's large enough that I get a huge collection of potatoes, carrots, and wheat, which actually serve a purpose, which I'll explain later on. Let's not just fly. I want you to actually see the path. So you might notice little yellow specks as you go by. They're actually glowstone 2 blocks under that are supposed to be well hidden to help with lighting during the night. It actually looks really cool in my opinion. I think I'll show that off the nighttime later on. So here's another area where I'm not sure whether I want to plant more trees to actually have it thin instead of being instant, but this is a automatic cactus farm. Cactus grows. It has a collision problem with the sign. Cactus doesn't like to be around other blocks, so whenever it grows, it instantly pops off, falls into these hoppers, gets dropped off into this chest. All automatically. This little farm, gotta follow the path, follow the path. I designed this path to be used, and now I'm just like wanting to skip it all. This one, semi-automatic farm. Um, the redstone could be designed a little bit better, but you get the idea. These two pop the sugarcane out. Sadly, that's not lossless, so I have to come by and manually pick up a few and drop it off. And then up here is a automatic pumpkin and watermelon farm, which still needs to be manually picked up as well. I might end up redesigning that to try to make a almost lossless automatic version of both, so, and to enable storage and put them on a clock as well. But that's the sugarcane, pumpkin, and watermelon aren't really used all too often. So this is a path which I'll explore here in a little bit, but this is a nether portal area. The idea is basically that this, so again, function over form, but this is also a witch's area, and why there's a lot of, like, in terms of the lore of the world, it's a witch's area. So this way has a bunch of portals for random stuff. This way doesn't really lead to anything in terms of like downstairs. This down here leads to my, I believe it's still in development, Guardian Farm, which I should get around to doing at some point to finish out. I basically got rid of all the water and then just left the Guardian Temple or whatever it's called left. So under here is a Nether Fortress, and then over here is the Nether is a tunnel that leads to a couple of specific areas, such as a mesa biome, which is where all this orange sand came from. Little work area, but this is the general design. It used to be one step bigger to allow more design ability, and I might end up redesigning this. It's just tunnels, or like you could already tell that I kind of just gave up because tunnels are repetitive and a pain in the butt. So I didn't really like want to put too much effort into it. Like I really should like spend an hour every day just grinding it out. But I also don't want to burn myself out again of this game. So yeah, so that's pretty much the nether side of things. Again, mostly function over form. There's supposed to be a door here, by the way. I don't know what happened to it. Probably a zombie knocked it out somehow. So then over here is the witch's hut. So this is how it would look coming onto it, but this is the actual house itself. This one's more look over function compared to the other buildings. I did grab the design from some, can't remember where, probably iBow, but a YouTuber, he's just not doing it anymore. But the inside's pretty much empty. I don't really like fill up the inside of the houses. I might this one because I do go in here so this is a witch's tower, witch hut, or whatever you want to call it. And the idea is she has this like secret tunnel inside her place that leads to this little area right here, which is still under renovation in terms of looks, but you are a green one, which means you don't have anything. Goodbye. So this is a villager storage system. But basically the idea is I find villagers that have good trades, like this guy has Silk Touch, I believe. Where is it? No, he has Frostwalker. That's why I kept him. He has Frostwalker. This guy has good the farm trades. So wheat, potatoes, carrots. Not a coincidence. Um, this guy has Silk Touch. So Infinity, Silk Touch, and Respiration 3 on this guy. I'm still looking for a mending guy. This is a cartographer. I don't know if I'm going to end up keeping him, considering the only thing I need is this. You can hear the guy that I dropped is now drowning down here. This is basically set up so like I can filter out the bad villagers and suffocate them. Villagers that are meant for breeding, this lever basically allows them to return back to the farm, which I'll show you here in a second. But yeah, the general idea is in terms of lore, is a witch has these captive villagers that she does experiments with, and in all reality, I'm just abusing their trades and keeping them contained so that way I can keep them forever. So this area is not really something that's supposed to be regularly accessed. It's just more there until the villagers that I intend on keeping. By the way, this is like a little shortcut to get back to those villages. But yeah, the villagers that I intend on keeping until I find mending and all of the special ones. This is basically a villager farm. Villagers will breed, and I will push them into the hole, and they will filter into the storage containment area. It looks like I might need to clear them out because it's supposed to be these two brown coats are the only ones that are supposed to be in here. This, like I said, was if I end up dropping too many people in there or I just don't have anyone in here anymore, I can filter them back through here and let them breed and then recollect them at a later time. So since it's night, I'll go ahead and explore the path and lead to the villager district. So here you can see like how well I've managed to light up the path. It's not perfectly sealed with the way that the trees are grown, so things that are in the outside in the dark can still encroach onto the path. But it hasn't happened too often, so it's not too much of an issue. So far the only thing that I have quote unquote completely copied from someone else was the witch hut / tower thing. This this fountain was based on something that iBow made, but it wasn't entirely made by him. So now we'll go into the villager district. Or the fishing district. So this is I'm more flying to show you that this is adequately lit up and again with well hidden. You see that there's no torches, no anything like that. All of the lights are basically hidden under the bushes that I've left. So let's go ahead and time set day. That is that set time day. Nope. Okay, I'm just gonna go to sleep then. I don't remember the command off the top of my head. Boop. So this is not really too much of, this is more improv, everything that I'm doing. It's not really going to be too serious. It's more like showing off this to a few of my friends. So here it transitions from just a random dirt path into the actual wooden path of the fishing district. This left side is the rich folks, which you can tell from like the design of the housing. It's more of like the upper class section. This will be torn out and turned into a path, which I will get to here in a little bit. This is a generic dock with a couple little boats. I do intend on creating a huge boat in the back, like a kind of like an old style sailboat, sail-based boat. I don't know if you would really call it a sailboat, but it's a build design that is very intricate that I haven't done before. So I need to get into a creative world and copy someone's design and kind of learn from it. So one of the biggest challenges I had with this fishing village was making sure that all of the houses were unique in some fashion. So it wasn't just like a carbon copy. Um, so far all of these were like hand designed by me. Um, and again, like it was rather challenging trying to make sure that all of these were unique. This dock was based on something that B Double O made with some slight tweaks. Um, and this is more supposed to be like a primary port for the bigger ships to dock at in some fashion. Hello. All right. This is what I learned from the villager, not the village, the witch hut. I attempted to apply here. Um, I don't really fill the inside too often, but the intention of this is supposed to be like an inn, hence the bed. So it was an interesting challenge to say the least. There was another build that iBow made that I adopted from, if I remember correctly. It was a while since I built this, so and again, it has a lot of hidden lights just to make this lit up, but I don't really fill up these houses. This is supposed to be a fisher's hut, and it's actually one of those that has its own dedicated dock and boat. So, and then let's go ahead and so there is a guy, MCU Noodler, I think is his name, and I am adopting a Jade Palace that he has made, that I intend on creating like a more Chinese Oriental district. This is all like going to be carved out into a road. My specialty is terraforming. If you haven't noticed with the path over here, a lot of this is basically like, oh, here's another thing that I did. So this originally was just a normal as pond, and this kind of exemplifies my terraforming ability. So this was sealed up. There was a really small pond here, and that was it. So I basically made this giant pond lake thing filter down into the rivers type section, and all of this was manually made by me. You can see how it's not quite natural, and I kind of did that on purpose. I can lay it into here, which then splits off into this giant ocean area, and then splits off here, which again, all of this was terraformed. This was made deeper by me, and that led into this small a cove that I intended on building another giant ship for that I actually opted not to do. So that's a good example of like what kind of thing that I more specialize in compared to actually building houses. I'm not really that great at building houses in comparison to some people, which is why a lot of my houses and buildings and stuff like that are either carbon copies or heavily influenced by things that I have seen either online or in some other fashion. So anyway, still working on the road that will lead to here. This isn't. This is nowhere close to being finished in development, as you can see. I actually just started this a couple days ago, but this is going to be the Jade Palace. You can kind of see the dimensions that I'm working with this hard line right here. And then there's another hard line that you probably can't see because you didn't, because you weren't the one that dug it out, and I was. But there's like, it's basically a 47 by 47 build that I'll be working on. So, and I just basically did the entrance so far. And that's what that box of goods that are build ready is supposed to be for. So, yeah. So this is basically my world at this point in time with the stuff that I am working on. And I hope if you have any input, by all means, let me know. But this is, oh, there was one thing that I wanted to show. Game mode 1. I don't know if there's a way to automatically teleport myself to the end. But let's see if I can find the ender portal. My cat is like hardcore loving me right now. I don't know if you can hear her jingle. So I think this is the one that leads to the ender portal. Does it? It was. Cool. So I also created probably one of my favorite farms. It was a pain in the butt to get it set up initially, but of course every person has to have a Enderman farm for mass enchanting needs and situations. Hey, that's my water. Don't you go and put your head in my water. Let's go ahead and fly. So this path obviously function over form because this is a farm. It's not really supposed to be a anything important. So it's a little crafting area. It has a lot of lapis lazuli here, and they basically fall here. There's a shit ton of XP. And basically the entire design of the farm. So all of this is not spawnable area at all. Like these Endermen cannot spawn. The only place that they have to spawn is here, which ultimately results in all like it being a high spawn area due to the fact that there's no other location for them to spawn. Um, and they basically become aggressive to this Endermite automatically, which causes them to go like stupid as hell, and they basically run and fall, take enough damage to be one shot, and that's basically the Ender farm in a nutshell. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. I think that covers all of it. There's a few things that I still need to do in terms of developing farms. I still need to get a blaze farm. I still need to get a witch farm set up somewhere at some point, and of course any other farms that I mentioned that I should end up doing. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully you've either learned something or were impressed or have any input or something for anything in this world. So have a good day.